First, fair, everywhere. 19 News starts now.
6 minutes, making all the difference in a deadly blast at an Ohio bank. Breaking details at 11 with what investigators are learning from the new video from inside. And a historic church possibly on the brink of collapse. Safety officials watching closely tonight before a big decision has to be made. But first, new video that is tough to watch. A man taken to the ground by police, and with his hands behind his back, a canine officer attacks him. Thanks for joining us for the news at 11 o'clock. I'm Chris Fry. This video going viral tonight and once again putting the Canton Police Department in the spotlight for controversial use of force. Investigator Kelly Kennedy breaking down what happened and showing us how the community is now responding.
People living in this Canton neighborhood are furious and they're afraid. Some people tell me they're even afraid to call the police now when they actually need help. Now, we want to show you that video, but we want to warn you, it is disturbing. A neighbor took this video of a Canton police dog attacking a man who was already on the ground and appears to be in handcuffs. But if you watch the police body camera video, it appears that although the man was on the ground, he was not in cuffs when the dog bit him.
The screams were so intense. It was so horrific sounding. And just know that this guy was getting bit by this dog, which I already thought that he was on the ground.
It happened Thursday night on 16th Street Northwest in Canton. Shannon Fagan and her grandson Riley Lehman saw the whole thing.
I feel like they shouldn't have used that much force.
Police say this all started after they pulled over a couple of teenagers for not using a turn signal. According to reports, officers found alcohol and a gun inside their car. And then an angry crowd started to gather and things got out of control. Not surprising considering this is a community whose relationship with police has been strained ever since the death of Frank Tyson.
When I was watching it from over there, I really had a lot of anger build up. And I was really mad yesterday just looking at him, just release the canine on him. I was just devastated.
Police say a 42-year-old man was swearing and threatening officers and the canine on scene. Neighbors don't believe the man did anything to deserve what happened.
This man who was arrested was yelling. He wasn't, he was intoxicated, but he was in his yard and he was yelling. And he had every right to do whatever he wanted to do. He was in his property. And yet this officer seemed to just want to intimidate him with this dog. And this man, he's drinking in his own yard. He's just like talking back to the dog. He's not throwing a gun towards the dog.
You can see officers struggle to cuff the man before taking him down to the ground. The man is then face down with his hands behind his back. Then you see the dog clamp down on the man's arm. Eventually, canine officer Nicholas Casto pulls the dog off and the man is cuffed.
All of us were screaming, "Stop it," because we realized there was no reason for this.
The 42-year-old man is charged with disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and making threats to a canine officer. The mayor also put out a statement saying he takes these kinds of incidents very seriously. We'll keep you updated on the investigation. Reporting in Canton, I'm Kelly Kennedy for 19 News.
Breaking details and big questions about the structural integrity of a burnt-out church in